Meeting to order. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There are a few announcements this evening. The Select Board is hosting an Ask Me Anything this Thursday at 7 p.m. at the Grafton Community House located in South Grafton. Come join the Recreation Department on the Common for a scarecrow building contest from 11 to 1 p.m. on Sunday, October 16th. Enter as an individual, group, or business. Hay, stakes, and twine will be provided. Just bring your imagination and decorations. The Grafton's Lion Club is hosting a Haunted Woods Forest of Fear hayride on Friday, October 21st and Saturday, October 22nd from 6:30 to 10:30 at 68 Brigham Hill Road. This community Halloween event is a fundraiser for the organization. Join the Recreation Department at Holden Farms for some pumpkin decorating on October 23rd. This free event will run from 11 to 1 p.m. Painting supplies will be provided. Town meeting will be held on Monday, October 17th at the high school auditorium starting at 7 p.m. The warrant is available to pick up at Bushel and Peck, the town clerk's office, and all 3 post offices, as well as online at grafton-ma.gov under the town meeting tab. The town meeting has confirmed there will be a sign language interpreter present. We do have a couple public hearings this evening. If the clerk will read the first one, please.
Sure. The Select Board will hold a public hearing on the request of National Grid to locate poles, wires, and fixtures, including the necessary sustaining and protecting fixtures, along and across the following public way. Adams Road. National Grid to relocate one JO pole on Adams Road beginning at a point approximately 20 feet south of the center line of the intersection of Libby Lane and continuing 5 feet in an east direction. Single phase riser from new relocated P38 Adams Road to new transformer pad number 5. The public hearing will be held on October 11, 2022 and take place in person in Conference Room A of the Grafton Memorial Municipal Center located at 30 Providence Road and via Zoom starting at 7 p.m. The Zoom link will be posted on October 11, 2022 agenda. The purpose of this hearing is to provide an opportunity for public comment. Anyone wishing to may attend in person or via Zoom. Posted to the Grafton News September 22nd, 2022 and September 29, 2022, as well as the Town Bulletin Board. I move the board vote to open the public hearing.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Declare the public hearing open. And I believe we have Jay from National Grid joining us on Zoom to answer any questions if anybody has any. Is anybody here to speak in this public hearing? Or anybody on Zoom here to speak on this public hearing?
Nope.
Okay. Jay, if you'd like to say anything, you can.
We're just relocating that pole to the southern side of the new entryway to the development we're putting there. That's about it.
All right, sounds good. So seeing that there's no one else here to speak on this public hearing, I can take a motion to close the public hearing.
I move the board vote to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Declare the motion carried.
I move the board vote to approve and sign the Adams Road pole petition by National Grid.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Declare the motion carried. We have a second poll petition.
Yep. Select Board will hold a public hearing on the request of National Grid to locate poles, wires, and fixtures, including the necessary sustaining and protecting fixtures, along and across the following public way. Brigham Hill Road. National Grid to install one JO pole on Brigham Hill Road, beginning at a point approximately 5 feet southeast of the center line of the intersection of Brielle Road and continuing approximately 15 feet in a northern direction. Installing a 40C2 pole to address a safety issue that was identified by an overhead manager. The public meeting public hearing will be held on October 11, 2022, and take place in person in Conference Room A of the Grafton Memorial Municipal Center located at 30 Providence Road and via Zoom starting at 7 p.m. The Zoom link will be posted on the October 11, 22 agenda. The purpose of this hearing is to provide an opportunity for public comment. Anyone wishing to may attend in person or via Zoom. Posted to the Grafton News September 22nd, 2022 and September 29, 2022, as well as the Town Bulletin Board. I move the board vote to open the public hearing.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Declare the motion carried. Again, is there anyone here to speak on this poll petition, either in person or on Zoom?
I'm sorry, I was reading.
Okay. Seeing none, I'll extend that again to you, Jay, if you have any comments.
Actually, the homeowner approached us on this one with some concerns with wire heights across his driveway. So I think it happened to be during a storm, and there happened to be an overhead crew out there, so they flagged them down and asked if they could do anything with it. And our solution was to add a midspan pole to fix the low wires that were hanging. We had a really long span that was there for some reason, so we installed a new pole to fix the clearance issues for the homeowner.
All right. Well, thank you for that. All right, and nobody's on Zoom, right?
No.
Okay. I can take a motion to close the public hearing.
I move the board vote to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Declare the motion carried.
What was it?
I move the board vote to approve and sign the Brigham Hill Road poll petition by National Grid.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Declare the motion carried. Thanks for coming in tonight, Jay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Up next, we have some election workers.
I move the board vote to appoint Lee Ellen Hume, Judith Glass Powell, and Philippe Joffrey Lavallee as election workers for the town of Grafton.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Declare the motion carried. Congratulations. And we have a town administrator appointment. We have some new hire police officers. If the chief would like to come in and introduce everybody.
Good evening. We've added a few new officers. It seems like I'm coming here every couple of months,
Couple of months. You were just here last week.
I'm sorry?
You were just here last week.
Yeah.
No, did you get a haircut? Because
Okay.
it looks nice.
Exactly. Well, we're getting progressive here, so. But no, we've, continued our search for officers. I know, I'm sure everybody knows, this day and age that, a lot of police, a lot of officers are leaving the profession or, seeking, work in the private sectors. But we've been lucky. We found great quality candidates. And today, I'm gonna introduce two new officers. The first officer is Officer Randy Assassi. Randy, if you wanna just come up here.
Hey, Randy.
Right over here, yeah. Randy is a graduate from the Western New England University with a bachelor's in criminal justice and a minor in political science. I don't know what that means, but he's a former police officer with UMass Worcester Police Department. We hired him from there, so he had experience coming here. And he's a graduate of the 29th Recruit Officer course in the Boylston Police Academy, graduating in May of 2022. He also has worked in security and other various professions, and he decided he'd like to make Grafton his home, and we're happy to have him here.
Very nice.
Great.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Welcome to Grafton.
If you have any questions, so just as we started to do, like, figure we'd bring all our officers in, so you get to know who they are, which is nice. They know you, they get to know you, and you get to know them. So, is there anything you'd like to add?
I'm just happy to be a part of the team. Hopefully I can be a positive influence to the community, and I'm just happy to be here.
Great.
Awesome.
Great. Welcome. Happy
Thank
to have you.
Thank you, Andy. The next new hire is Officer Joseph Wenger. He's a graduate from Nichols College with a bachelor's in criminal justice and a certificate in counterterrorism. Officer Wenger was a self-sponsor with the Yarmouth Police Department and attended the Cape Cod Municipal Police Academy, graduating in July, And I have to point out, these self-sponsors, we've had a few, okay? These are people that go out, they buy all their own equipment, they pay for the academy, they forego working so that they can go to the academy full-time. And, you know, in situations like this there, you can't ask for better motivation, so. During school, during college, Officer Wenger interned at the Worcester County District Attorney's Office during the summer of 2019, working with the fugitive unit. He also interned with the Massachusetts State Police Detective Unit, we used to call CPAC, in the summer of 2021, working with detectives conducting administrative tasks, including death and drug investigations in central Massachusetts. So he has a little experience there, at least seeing what was going on in the law enforcement field. So, and this is Officer Joseph Wenger.
Nice to meet you guys.
Great.
Nice to
Welcome.
meet you.
Pleasure.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, similar to Randy, I appreciate it. This opportunity is something I've been working for a while, and I couldn't imagine a better place to be. So thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Great.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Welcome.
Anybody have any, if anybody has any questions, otherwise?
For you?
For me?
I got a couple.
I really
Okay.
enjoy having everybody come in and meeting everybody,
Yeah,
though. It's,
it is-
it's
that
very
is-
nice.
it is
And I think
beneficial.
it's
And
very
people
beneficial.
who are watching out on Zoom and all that get to see him too. Hopefully all under good circumstances in the future also.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yeah, good job with the hiring process.
Yep.
thank
Great.
you.
Excellent
Thank
job
you.
and
We're trying
congratulations.
we're trying to pick the best.
Yep.
So, and we've been very, very lucky so far doing that. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
So there were going to be a couple other appointments for the fire department as well. We will be passing over that until the November 1st due to scheduling conflict. So up next is a proclamation for Rick Elaine, who I did see sneak in here. Hello, Rick. Do you want to come up here while I read this?
You can't talk, Rick.
No talking.
No.
So this is a proclamation from the Select Board for Rick Elaine for all of his years of service. So whereas on this date, the Grafton Select Board is honoring Richard Rick Elaine, who served the town of Grafton and its residents for the past 49 years. And whereas Rick joined the Grafton Fire Department in 1973, becoming a lieutenant in 1990, advancing further within the organization, he was promoted to captain in 2022. One of Rick's hobbies is photography, which he has used to document department trainings and events over the years, going above and beyond for our community. Rick also served on the Grafton Fire Department Study Committee, and whereas his experience and knowledge will be truly missed, with his well-earned retirement on September 30th of this year, Rick will continue to serve on the fire department's recruitment committee, demonstrating his immense commitment to the organization. Now, therefore, we, the Select Board of the Town of Grafton, do hereby proclaim this day, October 11th, 2022, to be Rick Elaine Day, and express our sincere appreciation to Rick for his years of service and dedication to the town of Grafton and its residents. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We have a really nice version here that we'll sign and is that yeah.
We'll sign it, we put it in a frame, and then we'll get that over to you.
I think you have the captain when I was appointed
think-
captain wrong.
I was gonna say, I
2022.
was gonna bring that up. I don't
no,
think
you
he
don't.
was appointed captain this year.
Well, no, you don't get a problem.
Oh, did I say 2022? It's
Yeah.
2002.
2000.
Well, it's
That's what I
right
like.
here. Sometimes
Oh, yeah, I was ready to jump on that, Rick, so don't
no,
worry.
it's written
Congratulations on your
correctly.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sorry about that, Rick.
It's okay.
All right. Up next is review of the liquor license policy. So this is the one we had already reviewed, and we talked about changing the 60 days to 30 days and calling out what a establishment is. I believe I forget the exact word.
Thanks, Rick.
Very well.
Did
Jim.
anybody have any other questions or concerns that popped up to them when they read it?
So it was underlying business,
Underlying this, yes.
and so, there's a footnote added. The purposes of this policy and underlying business is the organization that owns the land or assets being used during the one-day permit. This does not apply for single-day events such as weddings held by different parties at the same location multiple times a year.
Perfect.
I think that was a good, Will wrote that definition, and I think that was
Yeah, I think
Right
that
on the money.
cleared it right up. All right, does anybody have any questions or concerns? All right, hearing none, I can take a motion to accept the policy as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Declare the motion carried. And then we have a second policy to review the rules and regulations for holders of alcoholic beverage licenses. So this is new this evening. If Evan wants to present a little bit about it, or William.
No, so I can take this. So we, as you know, being a community that has several liquor stores, we do from time to time get violations. And so part of, being a liquor license authority is we really should have a policy that spells out what the liquor license holder is, what they are responsible for, and what repercussions will come for violating the policy. And so when you have, I'm going to talk about violations for a minute. When you have violations, what the ABCC is looking for, and ultimately what the courts would be looking for, should we find ourselves in legal jeopardy, is that you have a progressive policy that people can see, understand, and follow as far as what will happen should they choose to serve alcohol to a minor, or violate their license in some other manner. So I put this together with council and with Chief Crapo to kind of follow what other communities are doing, but also make it a little bit specific to Grafton. So just to highlight again the sanctions for violations section, you would have a liquor license hearing pursuant to 138-64. And then, the first violation is a letter of reprimand or suspension up to 3 days or both. Second violation is suspension of license from 3 to 10 days. Third violation is 10 to 30 days. And the fourth violation is a revocation of license. So again, it's very important to have a clear and concise section that talks about that progressive nature, so that if you do get a licensee that has multiple violations over the course of a year or several years with a track record that's proven to be, in violation, then when we do need to act on that license, we've got a clear and concise policy to follow. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
The rest of the policy talks about pretty much everything that's expected of a license holder who has a license through ABCC in the town of Grafton. None of it is above and beyond what your normal statute would call out, except for a section that the Grafton Police Department shall be notified if you are having a special event with a circumstance that where you might have more than 400 patrons at one time. Or multiple gatherings collectively amounting to more than 750 patrons. And again, that's for traffic and general public safety, which I think is pretty straightforward. Otherwise, I don't personally feel like there was anything in this policy that stands out, unless any of you saw anything that you have questions or concerns regarding.
I said, oh, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
A question, like on number 19 here, and this might be a term to minimums sampling. I didn't look it up just to see if that was something.
Yep. So
That's like a term.
yes,
Sampling.
right,
Okay.
right.
And then
So
last
it what it essentially is you are
taste testing kind of
taste
thing.
testing,
Yeah.
right? So you can have I don't remember what, I think it's 1 ounce, but it's
Yeah.
just so that you know what you're.
I didn't get a chance to look it up. I just want to make sure that was correct. And then did we have a policy in regards to this? So this is a new policy. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
That's all.
Yeah.
So for establishments who may or may not have already received a violation before tonight, is it kind of starting now, everybody's a clean slate, or it does not matter?
So it does not matter.
Okay.
So we now have a policy to follow.
Right.
But I think it gives you a pretty fair amount of discretion. So that's how I would do it. If we get one on an establishment and this is their second one, I think their second one is their second one.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to,
And the
you need to
guidelines,
stop doing it.
we're not bound by the guidelines, because you can revoke in the first.
Yeah, I would,
Depending on the
and
situation.
I believe there's language in there that talks about how, due to the egregiousness of an
Correct.
event that you might be able, you might find yourself outside of the scope of that, but,
Yep.
if we have an event like that, then, that legal's involved in it right off the bat, so we'll get very clear guidance on that. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think you'll know it when you see it.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
I think Andy.
Yeah, just one. In the first section under the first one, alcoholic beverages, can you explain why we have to define the temperature of the beverage?
Because you're measuring the percentage of alcohol by volume changes with the temperature of the beverage. So when they're creating that label on the bottle that says X% by volume, it's done at 68 degrees.
Awesome, thanks.
You're welcome. I almost went down the sake road, but then I remembered what it was.
Well, that's what I was thinking. With some alcoholic beverages are
103
warm.
degrees or
So,
whatever
yeah.
the sake's supposed to be. Yeah.
All right. All right, if there are no other questions or comments, I can take a motion.
I move the board vote to approve and sign the rules and regulations for holders of alcoholic beverage licenses as presented.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Declare the motion carried. Next is to sign the 2022 state election warrant, and that's just kind of standard procedure. We do this every year, so I can take a motion.
I move the board vote to sign the 2022 state election warrant.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Declare the motion carried. Up next is select board reports. Does anybody have any reports?
I met with Sean Padgett today, and I was going to be meeting with Apple Tree Arts on the 17th, but it's town meeting, so now we're pushing that off. Also met with Casa Builders on the Snow Road today, and they're going to be coming back to us with another proposal. So
Okay. Do you have a rough timeline of agenda they might want to get on, or?
no, we're gonna have another meeting
Okay.
prior to them. Yeah, we're not close.
Okay.
So a lot of stuff going on there.
How'd it go with Sean and everything? That's
Very
coming
good.
along? Okay.
Yeah, very good.
Alright.
Yeah, had a great meeting.
Okay. Any other select board reports? So I just wanted to mention, I wish I'd mentioned it last week, but I forgot. But myself and a few other board members attended Deputy Chief Menardi's pinning ceremony at the police station 2 weeks ago now, and it was lovely. And I just wanted to call that out because it was a nice event, and I regret forgetting to mention it last week. So, okay, town administrator report.
Yeah, so I don't have any huge updates from last week. The only thing that I thought that people might be interested in is we have reached substantial completion of the plan for nope.
George Hill.
Yes, thank you. I'm picturing the road in my head. I'm just not coming up with it. So George Hill Road, and we are now doing what they call it's like fact finding. Basically, they have the initial plan, and then you go out and you verify that stone walls are where they're supposed to be, and trees and all the other stuff. So that should wrap up this month, and then it'll be off to myself, Paul Canoyer, probably Chris McGoldrick, and we'll all sit down with the surveyor, go over the plan, and develop what we think is the best way to approach the repaving of that road. And then they will build the price estimate. So probably end of year-ish for the price estimate. And then they'll put us in decent shape to figure out what we're gonna do. So.
Decent shape and to figure out how we're gonna get that amount of money.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big project, but, it's good to see just continual progress throughout the year. I don't think it's as fast as anyone would like it to be, but it's just kind of the nature of the beast, so to speak. So, I know residents have commented to me that they've seen surveyors out there and markings in the road and, throughout the summer. So we have been making steady progress on it.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I have for today.
Okay. Up next is correspondence. Does anybody have any correspondence they'd like to speak about?
I wouldn't mind just highlighting, I'm part of the league, past president, that on Thursday, October 27th, there's a flyer here relative to a lively discussion on the future of political discourse and activity. I think we talked a lot about, I spoke with some of the current board about this, and encouraging people to come out to the library so that we can talk. So that's all.
All right. Did you say the date and time?
It's October 27th at 7 at the public library, and we're having a guest speaker who's a professor at Clark.
Very nice.
Nice.
All right. Any other correspondence anybody likes to speak about? Okay. So we have no resignations and public comment. Anybody's here for public? Oh,
Sorry. I just wanted to see if anybody had reached out to Ms. Kiblansky about the traffic issues in front of the high school.
I don't believe anyone's reached out to her yet.
Okay.
That came in last week, I think.
Yeah, last Wednesday.
We'll make a note to follow up on that, but
Okay.
I think we sent it off to PD, but I will double check and get an answer back.
Appreciate it.
Sure.
all right. And I believe you're here for public comment.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robert Holmes. I live at 1 Balin Circle, Apartment 3, North Grafton, Massachusetts, 01536. I'm here on public safety related matters this evening, two of them. I'm going to start out with EMS real quick. I'll be brief so we can move on this night and just get out of here. My concern comes with the current EMS ambulance situation in town. It seems that we are going more and more mutual aid with MedStar. They're coming from Sutton. They're coming from Millbury. We're calling Westboro Fire. I've noticed it at home, working from home. Westboro Fire responded to my section of town, North Grafton. That's fine if that's the mutual aid agreement. I have a concern that we have a paid fire chief now that's going to be making $150,000 next year and not responding first responder to EMS calls. And give you a comparison to that, a deputy EMS division chief in the fire department of New York City makes $170,000 a year and responds to EMS jobs all day long. So just so you know what we're dealing with in call volume, October 7th, week ending, there was 26 EMS calls, 15 fire. Ending the 30th, 27 EMS calls, 7 fire. 23rd ending, there was 20 EMS calls for the week, 7 fire. 22 EMS calls, 9 fire calls on ending September 16th. September 9th, there was 53 EMS calls that week and only 10 fire department calls. So I think we really need to relook at our fire chief and what he's going to be doing coming up to the next year, making that amount of money responding to EMS calls if we do not have an ambulance stationed in Station 1 at this time. So that's my to-do on EMS. And just so you know, I've been in EMS since 1997, and I'm still certified in 3 states. So this is something I hold true to myself. I am a big EMS person. So when I see this happening, I'm concerned for all the citizens in town because I know how it can snowball. People don't think about it until they call 911 and then an ambulance doesn't arrive in time and you're laying on the street. And just so you know, you're going to open yourself up to liability in the town if you have a paid personnel who's a higher level certification than your police officer that you're sending on that EMS call. Because that's going to put liability there. And I just want to put that in your head. That's something you might want to think about. When it comes to the police officer posting, that was posted back in August. I did apply for that position. I'm a resident in town. I've attended 2 police academies. My last police academy was with the FBI police down in Glencoe, Georgia. And I find it interesting that I wasn't even called for an interview with the department as I am a resident, an EMT in town. And I've been to 2 police academies. I've served in New York City as a police officer, I've served in Washington, D.C. as a police officer, and I've served in Las Vegas as a federal investigator for civil rights of employment law. So it was a kick to the head that I didn't even get an interview, and I paid $35, and I'm a resident. I would like a refund of my $35. I think this police application process should be reviewed about who screened these applications, and just to entertain some public safety people's perspectives around here. In Massachusetts Post, the police department needs to send the training records in order to see if they will give you a waiver. And that was never asked of in the application posting. It was asked if you were certified out of state and if you would be available for a waiver. And I clicked yes. I submitted my documents. Also, while I was sitting in the back row waiting for my public comment tonight, the police department texted Sergeant Swift on his personal cell phone about me to respond here to make sure that he was present for me being at the meeting tonight. I don't know why that was needed. I'm a professional. I have 4 children and I live in town, so I don't understand why we need to tell the police they had to be here for me tonight. That's all I have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anybody else on Zoom for public comment?
If not,
Okay, we have a couple, just one set of meeting minutes to approve.
I move the board vote to approve the meeting minutes for October 4, 2022 as written.
second.
Motion made and seconded, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, declare the motion carried. We have no reason to go into executive session, so we can take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, declare the motion carried. Good night, everybody.